Genesis 4:1. Adam lay with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." In here, I'm kind of like a question. Does Adam and his wife have sex as a normal thing? Yes, it's very normal things. But why Bible spend words put in there say Adam and lay with his wife? I guess in ancient time, king and the queen, well, they record the life, death, and the give birth to show their their offspring, whether it's legal or not. That's what I think. So they need to record, need to document whether this bloodline is clear. So I think that's possible reason. Also another, I think Adam could have lay with another another, I don't know, tribal women's to make more offsprings. But when Eve, right here, she said, okay, the Lord give me a kid. One thing in the book always say, okay, they give thanks to God, God control everything. But I think in here, it's possible it is pretty hard for Adam or for certain family to give a birth. It's very interesting. You can see some people like they drink beer, they eating fries and eating beans, and they give 10 children. They just have children, get children. Well, it's so easy. But some people, they just hard. Some people takes years, never get a children. It was very interesting, and so I think for Adam and Eve, I believe at this time, they belong to those kind of type. It's harder for them to have a kid. I don't know the reason. I guess it's kind of in the universe. You had so much things. Adam and Eve, they have so much things in their brain. They have so much knowledge. So it's harder for them to give offspring, because your offspring will inherit your knowledge, and it might break the balance of the whole world. You may take more chance. You take more chance from other people's. So other people, they use a quantity to overcome the quality. So that's what I think. She named the boy Cain. Cain in Hebrew, I believe, is spear. The spear means spear, but spear is who use spear? Soldier, hunter, right? But he's a farmer. Cain is a farmer. Eventually became a farmer. It's interesting. Yeah. Genesis 4:2. Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. Two kids' name are very interesting. First, Cain, his meaning is more like more acquired, spear. So it's kind of like it's pretty, should I say, positive. I'd rather say positive, or with hope, because I wanted something, Jehovah gave to me, right? The Lord gave to me. So Lord made this one. So there is hope on, and he's a spirit man. So basically only the strong one, only the strong one, only the sharp one will take over the hunting job. That's Cain. But Abel, from very far beginning, his name is kind of light. I would say light, or it's just meaningless, because Abel is more air, like a light, very light in the air, or those vacuum, those kind of meaning. Also, another means in Hebrew is Abel is a kind of extend to herdsman. Herdsman is like that. Back that time, what you do is your job, right? Your job, you use your job as your name. So people, horseman, herdsman, pigman, Iron Man, blacksmith, those kind of, so that job like as your name, the calling. So who is not in a important position, or who has a little handicap or whatever, just not that important, will do the work, collect the food, herding, do those kind of job. Kids do the herding. So herdsman, that's Abel, his position. I don't know, is that kind of naturally they separate the Abel and the Cain, just one is a strong, one is a sharp, because from another point is Cain, he carries more gene, from the gene or memory from the Eden. The recent research showed parents can pass gene to next generation. For example, like the scare of the fire, the scare of the some certain symbol or something. Just there is I believe there's 47 or certain number of a gene you can pass to the next generation. So I think at this moment, Cain should be the one more importantly, socially important. In the family, he's important. And Abel, he just a psychic. Now Abel kept the flocks, and the Cain worked the soil. Yeah, here, just like the name said, Abel is a herdsman, but draw me in. The interest is Cain work on the soil. I mean, so is he very strong? So he needs to work a double shift, because unless the society is like a feudal or semi-feudal, so they will have like a farming and some kind of hunting related events, right? Otherwise, if you're just a regular barbarian, you don't need to like really work on the soil that much. So I think the settlement at that time, it's already developed. I'd rather say well developed. So the weaker one, the handicapper, weaker one, whatever, you doing those herds, those job. And right that time, I think sheep is the easiest one to be herd. And because pig, the wild boar takes long time to become a pig. So Cain, because he's strong, so he needs to work on the field, work on the soil to plant something, right? Plant the bean, plant the rice, wheat, those things. Also, he need to go for hunting, for the meat. You can't just kill sheep all the time. You need to use other like rabbits, like other wolf or some other wild animal as your daily meat. So Cain is the strong one. He took more responsibility to provide the food to the community, to the family. That's from this picture we can see. Genesis 4:3. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. It didn't say when. It didn't say what kind of time, like a special day but I think should be some kind of unique time, right? Maybe because the fruit by the season. And so at the beginning, Genesis talk about God use what? Use day, use season as year as a measurement. I think that's the reason. And the human that time, they do not measure by those really second or minutes. They just daytime, nighttime, evening, morning. That's roughly. And season by the season. And probably they have a certain way of count between each season. For season 1, season 2, maybe evenly. I think it's approximately evenly. So they have a certain way to make the date. And that's old Asian time. I think they use a star, use all kinds. That's at very far beginning already said star to manage the earth. So they use star as the coordinate system. So I think a certain day in certain season, that's the code. Cain brought some of the fruit of the soil. Firstly, the fruit grow from the soil. God made everything, right? Actually, God made everything. So really, whatever you offering to God should be the same. But we'll see later it's a little different. So he brought fruit to offer to the Lord. First gave me the thinking is, I highly believe it's a ritual. It's a priest, kind of like a test, who has the capability or who will receive more knowledge or something inherited more to meet the needs to make God happy. That's Cain. He is a hunter because his name is Spear, and he also do the farming things. But he didn't use any animal. He got it, and he didn't do anything using meat, because right now I saw a lot of offering ritual. They use pig head, sheep head, cow head, and a lot of those kind of things as a do the ritual. But that time he just used regular fruit, the fruit from the ground, because he's a farming guy. So why? My question is why? Why he never thought that way? So actually I think he's a character more like I'm not killing for if I'm not hungry, or I'm killing for if I'm hungry. That's in the later Bible I actually talk about it. So that's his character. He used the fruit, and there's nothing wrong to make a fruit, right? Nothing wrong to use a fruit. Genesis 4:4. But Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering. My instinct about Abel is, this is a sneaky boy. He's a sneaky boy. And I think based on the previous sentence talk about someday, they both of brought something, right? I think it could be a something related to the high priest high priest, and maybe you be the next inherited. That's the reason. It's who will be the first one, the first rank first. And Abel, he's not. I don't think he's a leader. And it was interestingly, he thought about. He used a mind to figure out firstborn. So he made a difference. He made a separation. That's God's strategy, okay? God's strategy is separate things, right? So second thing is he used a fat, not the meat. He used a fat. And he believed this is good. This is good because Asian time people need a lot of like high calorie, high energy. They need to support themselves. So actually fat meat are considered better than lean meat. But he is a herdsman. Does he got the rights, authority to kill all those sheep? No, I don't think so. If you kill it and you do something yourself, you directly violate the whole tribe rules. You can't do it. So it gotta be some kind of testing trial for both of them, and he got the permission to do so. That's the reason. So Abel got the chance to have the fat and have the firstborn, whatever. He made that decision. So Jehovah loved this one, or look favor his offering is both of them. One is maybe peaceful, right? One maybe is more, I'd rather say good. Another is inherited his separation strategy. So from that point, I believe the Lord think, okay, you smart, you have the wisdom. But actually, after this, we will see it's who is the real God favors. Genesis 4:5. But on Cain and his offering, he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Firstly, it's very important sermon. Even after this sentence, we can see combine these three sentences. Firstly, Abel is less important in the tribe, and right now he passed the Cain, right? He gained the God's favor. Secondly, Cain, the way of his sneaky ways is try to use wisdom. We call wisdom because he made a separation. He said, oh, this is good because this is number one, because this is fat. I don't think people that time, they never really think that way yet. So I think the wisdom fruit start to develop in him. But I believe the wisdom fruit is developed too good for his own goodness, for his own good. So Abel tried to get everything for his own good, tried to take over Cain, his position. And in Abel, his name is heir. So I think all he did is it will be like air, like nothing, because he will be killed later, right? Later, yeah. So here, Cain still don't know. Cain not think about killing yet, but Cain's already angry for this kind of behavior, and but why the Lord favor Abel his offering? I mean, God show the favor. It's a big thing. It's a huge thing. So at the beginning, God wanted Adam and Eve try to pick something, right? Not to do something, not to eat something. Is that another way of a favoring? He favors something. So God wanted a herding culture at the beginning, very far beginning, where they said, He doesn't want a feudal. He wanted favoring a herding culture. And since this, he got punished because of the high rank, because the heavens, they made agreement. You breach the rules. So you close the garden and you expel them, and we close the project. So God went to the holy Sabbath. He take a rest. He's not at the position of CEO anymore. So, but he still can walk on the earth. He still has the power because he's God. He's very strong. So he still tried to influence both of them, show the favor. But the Abel is a one ready to be killed. Why he wants to show favor? Is that a strategy? Try to make Cain getting more angry? Try to make things like make the whole conflict kind of like push the peak point to the peak point? I don't know. But from my reading, that's what I feel. Genesis 4:6. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast?" It is funny. God starts to ask why. Don't you think we need to find a reason, find a why from God, instead of He asks us to find the reason why? Probably that's one of the heaven's habit. Like Socrates did, they kept asking questions to help you find the key, or to develop the key. Remember at the very far beginning, what's the name? The serpent told the woman, did God really say? The question, right? So it's is that same pattern? Why? Did really say it? Find the reasoning to verify the truth, true or false. So it's very interesting. I think in here, like God point out like two things with Cain. Firstly, is try to find the reason of your angry. Because what reason? I think because the competition, because the power, because the social position made him. If something I gonna lost, if I gonna hold on something, but if I cannot hold on, I'm anxious, I'm not happy, right? Definitely. So it transformed to a certain feeling of angry. Why are you downcast? Why can't you control your emotion? Why can't you figure some way out? So if Cain, at this point, he's not control his face, his facial, his emotion, he might just do some conspiracy, right? Or use certain ways. But in here is God directly point out very important reason for Cain. He's angry, and the reason for angry. But he used, why are you angry? Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm gonna lost the competition. I'm gonna lose my social position, whatever. And his craft, or his creep, just this brother just made him just feel everything is gonna go empty, right? So I'm angry, and why downcast? Well, I can't control it. That means I'm weak. I'm not a good leader. So that kind of question, is that same pattern like serpent ask? I think probably that's the heaven's habit. You try to figure out. That's my jargon. You figure out yourself.